24-21. And representing Tulane, native of Mandeville, first year as Assistant Athletics Communication Director at the university, works in many sports, works in the press box on game days, does the press box PA, worked at LSU previously, and graduated from the Manship School there in Mass Communications. Tulane and East Carolina. It's going to be Saturday in a huge Conference USA. Till, please give a warm welcome to Curtis Akey of Tulane University. Curtis.
Just want to say first off, thanks for having me today. It really is an honor to be here amongst all these great high school coaches and of course, representatives from LSU and the New Orleans Saints. Like Mr. Trahan said, I work in the athletic department at Tulane. My main responsibilities lie with the baseball, volleyball, and track and field programs, but of course here today I'm going to talk a little bit about football. Scored a big win over the weekend against North Texas, a pretty good North Texas team, 24-21. It was homecoming for us. It was the first homecoming game we've won in some time, so it was a very good boost for the program. And like Ken said, we're 4-2 on the season with that victory, but also the victory against North Texas gave the program its 500th victory all time. So that was a nice little benchmark victory for the history of the program. This is the first time Tulane's had 4 wins through 6 games and started 2-0 in league play since 1998, when of course Tulane went 12-0 and won the Conference USA title. And the win on Saturday was truly the epitome of a team victory, as the defense and special teams had some very big plays in the game. And the offense, of course, came alive right there at the end. They put together an 11-play, 66-yard drive, capped off by a 27-yard field goal from Cairo Santos as the time expired. As clutch as Cairo has been over his career, obviously won the Lou Grozo Award last year. That was his first game-winning field goal of his career. Of course, he dedicated it to his father, who unfortunately passed away a little over 3 weeks ago now. So that was a very, very big thing for him, and of course for the program. And of course, Coach Curtis Johnson, stressed that to the team and was very, very grateful for Cairo to be able to be out there up at Syracuse shortly after his father's passing. He's been a great asset to the program and just a stand-up kid. And we're very, very thrilled that he's a part of our program. Lorenzo Doss had a very, very big game for us. Of course, St. Aug product. He had 2 interceptions over the weekend, including one that he returned 59 yards for a touchdown. That ball that he caught, that he returned for a touchdown, was tipped by Chris Davenport, the LSU graduate student transfer who plays on our D-line now. So that was a team effort in terms of getting that ball into Doss's hands. With those 2 picks that Lorenzo had, he's got 9 for his career now, and he actually ranks 10th in school history, and he's only played in 18 total games. So that's a pretty amazing thing to think about. He's been an absolute ball hawk in the secondary for us this year, and we're really thrilled that he's a part of our program as well. And then another defensive back, actually 2 defensive backs for that matter, had a very big play on special teams for us, as Darian Monroe blocked a field goal attempt in the 3rd quarter that was scooped up by Derek Strozier, and he returned the ball 62 yards for a touchdown. And believe it or not, that marked the first time in school history that the Green Wave scored after blocking a field goal attempt. So perfect time for that to break that little record there. On offense, we managed 227 yards, which at the end of the day seems decent, but of course 66 of those yards came on the last drive of the game. So the offense obviously clicked when it really needed to. Quarterback Nick Montana was 18 of 28 for 132 yards, and he threw a touchdown pass to Justin Shackelford early in the game. Orleans Darkwa led the ground attack. He had 50 yards on 16 carries. We really want to give a little bit of credit to North Texas's quarterback, Derek Thompson. He was outstanding, probably the most complete signal caller the Green Wave have seen this year. He threw for 326 yards and a couple of touchdowns, of course a couple of interceptions as well. But he was a very, very good quarterback, and to score a victory over a team that has a quarterback like that is obviously a positive. A note that we're really, really happy about is our run defense. For the 2nd straight game, we've held the opponent's offense to 50 yards carrying or rushing or less. They only had 34 yards on 20 carries on Saturday, so that was a pretty big deal. Of course, we held ULM the week before to 50 yards or less. And then the most important thing is that we escaped the game without any major injuries, just, your standard bumps and bruises. So we'll be good to go against East Carolina this Saturday, a very, very big and physical East Carolina team. They're 4-1 this far in conference, in overall, and 2-0 in the conference. They went to Chapel Hill a couple of weeks ago and defeated North Carolina. Their only loss on the season is a 5-point loss to Virginia Tech, and they've had a pretty good year. ECU's quarterback, Shane Carton, he's a very good player, completes his passes at 73.4%, so that's a very, very high rate. He's got 12 touchdowns on the year, and he's averaging 307 yards, so the secondary's got their work cut out for them this week. The receiving core for the Pirates, very, very deep. They're led by Justin Hardy. On the ground, the Pirates are led by Ventavious Cooper. He averages 4.6 yards on the ground per carry. So obviously they've got a very, very good program over there, obviously run by a very respectable head coach in Ruffin McNeil. So we've just going to go out this week, prepare appropriately for these guys, and we'll just do what we have to do to put ourselves in the best position to score another victory before we go into a bye week next week. But 4 wins this far. We're very pleased with the way we've been playing, but we've got a long, long way to go. A lot of games left to be played. And once again, I'd just like to thank everybody for having me here. And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to attempt to answer them for you guys.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Yes, sir. Concerning the new stadium, I understand part of the covenant with the city and the neighborhood was that Tulane would allow 1 high school game per week to be played there during the football season. Is there any high school in New Orleans that basically has a reservation on that, or how is that open to? Is that open to bid, or is that a week-to-week deal, or how y'all gonna do that?
That's a good question. I would, that's one that Roger Dunaway would probably be able to answer a little bit more. I wish he was here to be able to answer that. As far as I knew that they were really wanted to kind of stress that we were going to hold that stadium for the purposes of playing Tulane football. In terms of high school games, I wasn't really made aware of any kind of agreement that they were going to play high school games there. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not saying that they are. But if you need some information regarding that, Roger Dunaway, I'm almost positive would have the answer for you.
Anyone else?
Anybody else? Hey, thanks again, guys, for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Curtis. Again, Tulane, East Carolina in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome this coming Saturday. Big Conference USA game and conference leadership all on the line. Our next speaker joined the LSU football staff in 2011, elevated to his current position in 2012 after playing college football at Michigan.